There are several components to shooting. It's almost like hitting a golf ball, and I don't want to get into all the nomenclature and get my audience confused. But there are a couple of verities, some truths that you can always go with when it comes to one-hand shooting. Number one, your shooting side foot, in my case being a righty, my right foot will always be forward, along with my hip and my shoulder. Proper shooting form, if you take the picture before I even get off the floor to release the ball, will have my right elbow over my knee. My body will be turned to face the basket. Any lefty would, of course, be the opposite. Number two, once you've gotten your feet right balance and your feet wide enough to support, now what you're doing up top is a fairly simple thing to say, awfully hard to do in execution. What these boys were doing early on in this segment is they were practicing touch. Touch is generated by the back flip or the back of the hand like this. You'll notice once the ball is out of the hand, it gives it backspin. What backspin does is it hits a fixed object, in this case the rim. If it's not quite going in swish, then it may get a better chance to go in the basket, because when backspin hits a fixed object from a far away shot or even a close shot, it tends to deaden the ball and give it a second chance of going in. So for the purposes of this film, and you're working with middle school age kids, try to get them turning their bodies right or left, depending on what they are, and their strong hand, and making sure when their knees are becoming locked that they're going into their shot and they're giving it that backspin. Most people talk about shooting with thumb and index finger and middle finger somewhere there. They're sighting a spot right over the front of the basket. A lot of work has to be done, but the pure fact of the matter is, if they don't start doing it shorter, 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet, they're never going to be good shooters once they get old enough and strong enough to go out to 10 feet, 15 or 20 feet. They need the ability to shoot with touch. Getting a player closer to the basket, under the basket, will necessitate that they go up, not out like this. Too many kids who shoot shots far away tend to push it out. Here under the basket, they're right under. That gives them the touch, it gives them the backspin, and with enough repetitions, and we're talking multiple thousands. I have talked to people in the business for 20 years that a really good shooter doesn't become really good until about 200,000 shots. So think of what that number is. It's 100 days of 2,000 shots or 2,000 days of 100 shots, and those are good mechanically sound shots. So be patient, be careful, let the kids grow, let them experiment, but when they get to this age, this is when they should be trying to round into pretty decent form by getting their right shoulder, hip, and foot facing, and also with the backspin and the touch like this.